We used to be extreme kids, now we all got mortgages. We used to be cool, now that time has gone. Get the fuck off our lawn.
DadBod in the morning, DadBod in the evening, DadBod at supper time. When DadBod's in your mom, you can have DadBod anytime. Hey, Brian.
Oh, that's a new one.
Yeah, you like that?
All right.
Hi, everybody. My name is Andrew.
My name's Brian.
And this is DadBodPod. Welcome.
Woo!
Hello. This is episode 47. Brian.
Yeah.
Welcome back on your journey.
Well,
From your
thank you.
journey.
Thank you, sir.
It's nice that you made it.
I did.
And you brought
Barely.
us a friend.
I did.
Can you tell us who's with us?
This is my good friend Shane Ali.
Hello.
What's up, gentlemen? How are you all?
We're
Doing
great,
good, bro.
man. We're so stoked that you're here. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Just bear with us and just roll with it, man.
Rolling.
Because what's about to unfold is chaos. We
Yep.
just try to keep it organized.
Well, that's funny because I call ceremonies divine chaos, so this is perfect.
Ah, cool.
Exactly
Very
what
cool.
it is, yeah.
If this is your first episode, hello. We are two music teachers out of Wesley Chapel that talk about all kinds of dad stuff and do all kinds of dad games and play all kinds of dad shows. And I got all that confused, but it's all right.
Dad shit.
Dad shit, real dad shit. And we just like to get together every Friday and do all that stuff. If this is not your first episode, you already know what's up. Brian,
Yeah.
how was your week?
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was great.
I'm really glad to hear that because, not to get too personal, but
Yep.
you've had a rough couple of weeks, we'll say that.
Yeah.
You know?
And normally when you ask me that question, I usually go, yeah,
Yeah, it was fine.
It was a week. Yep.
Ross ate my debit card or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Poor thing.
Ross licked my butt while I was
Yeah.
trying to jerk off. Yeah, no. This time.
Well, the animal rights activists are coming for us.
Whatever.
Apologies later in the episode.
But this week has been it's been just absolutely beautiful. Everything is going right.
That's great to hear.
The universe is finally like, all right, let's quit fucking with this guy. Like,
Yeah.
give him a minute.
Throw him a bone.
Yeah.
How was your week, Shane?
Man, my week was long and energetic, and I feel great today.
Good.
I feel great today, but I'm good. I'm happy to be here. I'm glad to be doing this podcast because I love doing all the people's podcasts, but so many of them that I do, most of them that I do, are like in these very spiritual communities and
Yeah,
sorts. And
sure.
so it's nice to be able to discuss that, but with a lighter mood, perhaps.
Yeah, we try.
Although I
Yeah.
do take this really seriously, I'm also a friggin' fool and I love to goof off. And
Yep.
I've known Brian forever, so I'm glad to be here.
Well, that's awesome.
Close to
We're glad
20
that you
years.
are here. We're glad that you're here with us.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Close to 20 years I've known Shane.
I think
a long
I think other than my immediate parents, there might be only one person in my life that I've known that long.
Yep.
So that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
for
awesome
sure.
that we've and it was crazy because it was like we were buddies and then
Life
moved on to
happened.
different shit
Yeah.
and blah, blah, blah. And then I ran into a
Babies were had.
Yeah,
all
Yeah.
over the place.
Yep.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
And then I run into him at Planet Fitness. And I'm like, oh shit, we connect again. And then next thing you know, we're going on journeys and having a blast.
Hell yeah.
Reconnecting through beautiful sources. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. My week was cool.
Well, you didn't give us a chance to ask.
I know. I
We're
did.
still processing the last answer.
That's okay. I just like to move it on. I don't take offense or anything.
You take a minute of silence. I'm fine too.
No, I mean, no, it's fine.
All right,
I don't have anything amazing, but I got an oil change.
Sweet.
Hey, well
There you go.
done.
Listen.
That's a W.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to take the tiny wins when you can get them.
I did laundry today, and I felt the same
Ooh,
way. I
yes.
was like, yes,
Yep.
dude.
Oh, I did the dishes the other day, and I was
Hey,
like, I
let's
am
go.
dad.
Super dad.
Heck yeah, dad rise up. Brian, this is episode 47.
Yep.
We got to get through just our intro bullshit before we go on to our normal shit.
Let's
yeah?
go. Let's
All right,
go.
so first things first, Brian, we put up a short the other day that we're not going to go, we won't hash out the content.
Yeah.
Apparently it was a little spicy for that algorithm because it's gone.
YouTube got mad.
YouTube got mad. So you guys, if you haven't seen episode 46, go check it out and see if you can find the hidden dad joke because it's out of there. I didn't even know YouTube would do that. You'd think they would at least allow us to take it down.
Right.
Or change
Uh-oh.
it somehow.
Pull.
Oh.
Fuck that.
Dude, they pulled out quicker. Sorry. Never mind. Yeah.
Moving on?
Yep, moving on.
All right. Brian, do you remember when I vowed never to play piano publicly again?
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, I'm going to do it again.
Good job.
Yeah, for Valentine's Day.
Yep.
So what should I play? What song should I play?
I'll make love to you.
All right. Oh, now seriously,
And
I would
want
probably
you
play that if I
to-
could.
Whoa, what do you mean publicly? Where are you playing?
Well, I'm playing at a winery.
Okay.
Sort of background music.
Okay.
So my thought is like I'm gonna sneak in punk rock songs and slow them way the fuck down.
Yeah.
Anti-love, but like I'm gonna do "Radio" by Alkaline Trio
Yep.
because that is just an anti-song, anti-love song. So I think it'd be funny to slip that in.
How long do you have to play? How long?
Hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So conceivably, I could do
Yeah.
it for all kinds of songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was thinking of "It's Raining Blood."
Oh, yeah. Slayer.
Yeah. Do a little bit of that. What do you think?
Yep.
Should I record it?
Yes.
Let's throw it on the podcast.
Yes.
We'll see.
So
Yeah.
also, I think when you hit the lyric in radio, you should just whisper that part. Like,
Well, I'm not gonna sing it. I'm gonna play it.
but you
Oh, that's
I
even
sh-
better. They won't have any.
Exactly.
shaking like a dog shitting razor blades.
Yeah, no, don't sing it.
Nope,
Yeah,
I
don't sing it.
shouldn't. I shouldn't.
What's That's romantic.
It's very
Just the
romantic.
piano.
Yeah.
What a true wordsmith.
Yeah.
Brian,
Yeah.
state of the Darmy. Do you think we're a weak Darmy?
No?
Wait, for those that may not know, Shane, you may not be.
I was gonna ask,
Okay.
what the fuck is a Darmy?
Well, we have dads
Uh-huh.
and a group of dads as an army.
Okay, I see
They
where this
rise
is
together.
going. Yeah, no.
Darmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
When we came up with the idea, there was like 17 of us.
Yep.
And I was like, well, we could take over a laundromat.
Now,
Ow.
202.
We do this every week, you guys. If you have pushed that button, even if you've thought about pushing that button, thank you so much because we didn't expect this.
Yeah.
202.
But if you haven't pushed the fucking
I
button,
haven't pushed that fucking button.
Guess what?
Guess what? Push that
allow me. Yeah,
Thank you. Oh my goodness, Brian. We have a gym that opened up pretty close to us.
Yep.
And inherent to gyms are people that work out in those gyms.
Yeah, indeed.
And on average, it's 50% men, 50% women. If
Yep.
you include all the gyms of the world.
Yep.
And I just happen to notice, and I try to say this as respectful as possible. People wear lots of yoga pants. What do you think about them? How do you feel about them?
I want to hug whoever created them.
Yeah. How do you feel about yoga pants?
I mean, I love yoga pants,
Yep.
and I don't. I mean, I'll just go to a Target on a Tuesday afternoon and
Hang out in the Stanley aisle or whatever.
Just cruise through the book section. I don't know. Home and gardens, just anywhere. Just go
I
to-
literally have nothing on my shopping list.
Yeah, no.
Half hour to kill?
I'm trying on hats that I don't wear.
So then here's the question, the real question. I have two.
Yeah.
First of all, should we hop on this yoga pant train and make DadBod branded yoga pants? What do you think?
We could.
Get our logo up in there?
Yeah.
Up in there.
Up in.
Get that logo up in there.
Then if that's the case, do you think we should rock yoga pants?
Absolutely not. Don't
No.
do it.
Do you think we'd be asked to leave if we walked into the gym rocking yoga pants?
I mean, I know why you're asking,
Yeah.
but no, don't do that.
well,
The guy at the front counter is like, listen, I know it's a little cold in here, but
yeah, I guess
Do
I would be
yourself
more
a
offended.
favor and don't wear.
I would
yoga
be more
pants.
offended if they let me stay, I think.
That's not a moose knuckle. That's like a goat hoof.
Awesome. So here we are with our DadBod yoga pants, our cup of bucket juice,
Yep.
and we got Snatch Chat open on our phone.
Beautiful.
Ready to go? But that's a lot of distractions. That's a lot of outward distractions,
Right,
Brian.
right,
We
right.
need, for this episode especially, we're going to look inward, and we're going to talk about inner space.
yes.
I am just enthralled with the spiritual, the connectivity between one living being to another, one living organism to another. I am absolutely fascinated with energy exchange. Have I ever told you my far out theory about music and the universe?
No.
So science tells us that at its very basic core, right, any particle or a constituent is just an excitation of a field. Right?
Right.
Quantum field theory tells us that, which means it's just a vibration in a field, right? So when we play music, right, we are manipulating vibrations, right? We're speaking and singing through these vibrations, right? As far as we know, now I don't believe this to be true, but as far as we know, we're the only ones in the cosmos that can do this. So when we do it,
Wait,
are.
hold on. So, what the fuck was Cantina song?
Oh man, you're right. From Star Wars?
Yes.
Nice one. Man, I was getting into it. You just pulled me out.
Sorry, no,
What
go
was I
back, go
saying?
back.
Fuck. So when we play music, when we manipulate these frequencies, we're literally utilizing the same sort of tools that make up reality itself. I think that's like a very deep connection
It's
in all
beautiful.
of that. Yeah.
It is. Because music can be used for everything
It
and
can.
anything.
Right. It sure can.
That's why sometimes when we get some students in here,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, what kind of music do you like? And they're like, I don't like music. It's like, well, you're 6, and it's
in the
gonna
wrong
be
spot.
all around you your whole life. So learn to.
How do they end up in music class if they don't like
Parents.
music? Parents are like,
Parents.
you're going
Yeah,
to music
for sure.
class.
Yep.
Before we go any further, Shane, can you tell us a little bit about what it is that you do? What it is the reason why you're here?
Yes.
Go
Yes.
ahead, please.
I am trying to raise that vibration that you were just talking about. First of all, in myself, in hopes that when my cup is full, it will flow over. And if there's enough people doing that, then, then slowly over time we can begin to lift this whole thing up. Yeah, and they've known for thousands of years in other traditions that everything is just vibration. I mean, now we know it scientifically. We've got the benefit of scientific tools, and we know all about quantum. What we don't know all about. We are beginning to slowly discover some things that we believe to be true about quantum mechanics and how things work on a different level. But so I'm trying to work on myself always, and also sort of enjoy the ride. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be alive. So I want to enjoy the ride. I want to enjoy. Do no harm. I don't want to fuck up anybody else's thing. I want them to do their thing. But I want to enjoy this ride, and so I'm trying to do that the best I can. So I'm trying to finish up my book. It's called Hope After Dope: My Journeys with Addiction, Ayahuasca, and God. I'm about 300 pages in. I am trying to edit it. I make music. I do hip hop on my own.
That's awesome.
I was in bands my whole life,
Yeah.
and I tried it again recently. But it's so hard, as you all know, because then you've got 3 or 4 other dudes or people. You've got to worry about their jobs, their
Schedules.
egos,
Kids.
their addictions, their families, and it's like hip hop, man. I get a beat, I write to it, and I just write whatever I want to. I stopped writing anything. When you're in your 20s and maybe 30s, when you're making music, you're like, okay, well, what can I do? You're trying to walk this line between like doing what you want to do, but also doing something that might be popular as well.
Sure.
And I totally threw the popular part all out the window a few years ago. And I decided, I don't care how weird it is or what I'm talking about. I'm just going to like write what I want to hear. And I was telling my buddy this the other day, like in the morning when I'm getting ready after I do my meditation and shit, and I'm going in the shower and brush my teeth and I find myself putting my own songs on, and I'm like, I'm really glad I wrote this song for me.
Hell yeah.
Maybe
Fuck
somebody else might dig it, but I really don't
Dude,
care.
I'm our
Okay,
biggest
who gives a
fan.
fuck?
I
Yeah.
really don't
Yep.
care. So I'm doing music, finishing the book, and then of course, I am I'm the servant. I'm a servant, I'm
Cool.
a servant of something higher, of a powerful plant medicine that has come out of the jungle now for a reason to help humanity and the earth and everything sort of move this along in the right direction. And so I help people that I can when they are called.
That's fucking awesome.
Can you tell us a second about the jungle journey?
When I went to Peru.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So this was amazing, and the jungle's no joke, as you know, and lots of people are being called down there now because of ayahuasca, and so there's a lot of travel down there. I think that's people can poo-poo it because the tourism and whatever, but I think people finding out more is better. So when I went, it was pretty cool. I got to tool around. It was funny. The first night we got in, we were staying at a hostel before we went into the jungle, motored up the river into the jungle. And we were staying in this hostel, and I was with about 3 other people. And we got there, we just taken this long flight to Iquitos. Well, close to Iquitos. You can only get in there by river. There's no roads, river or plane. And the first night, everybody was tired, and I was like, let's go for a walk. Let's check this place out. And it's kind of, it's run down. It's not, we're used to the cities that we live in. It's very
Right.
different there,
Sure.
And I was like, let's go get something to eat. And everybody's like, I'm not going out there, you know?
It's dark.
Yeah, dude. I
Okay.
was like, I set out on my own. I was like,
This is Peru?
yeah.
What?
They don't want me, you know? They know
I
I'm
guess.
there to spend money. I'm trying to go see what the locals are up to. So that was cool. That was a cool first experience.
Yep.
But the whole thing was amazing. I mean, we went to the jungle. I was with the Matsis tribe there, and we brewed our own medicine, and we sat with it a few nights. And then sat with another medicine, Huachumo or San Pedro, a cousin of peyote, on one of the days in between. And so, yeah, I mean, it was just an amazing experience to just be there in the jungle, to feel its power, to see its beauty. All the things down there just will bite you, all the things.
Yeah.
I did so well, like, all week. And then one of the last nights, a big-ass red fire ant bit me right between my toes. I was doing so well. And I came home with a case of chiggers. I like, started itching on the plane. I was like, what the? And then I got home, and I was just, like, covered in these chiggers. But I was tracing.
Chigga what?
I was. Well, yeah. Chiggers itch. That's what it is, man. I was traipsing through the
My
jungle
chiggers.
in, like, my chiggers. Yeah. They were definitely mine for a couple weeks. I was traipsing through the jungle in like shorts though at night. I don't know what we were chasing. I think a snake or a frog or something. And I was just
Chupacabra.
like, yeah, chupacabra.
That's cool, dude. Wow.
So yeah, but probably as divine as it all was, the coolest thing that I did was on the way into the jungle, before you get on the boat to go up the river, there's this big market, and it's fucking filthy. I mean, there's just trash everywhere and people everywhere.
course.
And things flowing through the fucking market, and you don't know. And people are selling fish and chicken and meat, and it's just out on the table in the sun, just sitting there for Lord knows how long.
Awesome.
So yeah, so we're on the way in. We noticed that one of the ladies there had like the big white grubs on skewers.
I
and
saw that
she
video.
And she was like had them on a little grill, and I was like on the
Slimy
way
but
out.
satisfying.
I was like on the way out. I'm getting one of those. So so the whole time we were in the jungle, it was sort of like a thing. Don't forget, you got to eat. You got to eat. So on the way out, you know, it was a thing. So I stopped and got one. And I was a little scared, and it's got like this little hard head on it, like a little brown thing. I didn't know. So I asked the lady, am I supposed to eat that too? She said, no. She showed me. She like took it off or whatever. And I put it in my mouth. Now, I thought it was going to either taste like wood because I thought that's what they eat when they crawl on the tree. So I thought it was going to be gritty and woody. Or I thought it might like pop in my mouth like, you know.
Like a gusher.
Like a gusher, right. So I was
Forest gusher.
I was a little forest gusher. At this point, I was committed, though. So I took one.
Yeah.
And I have to say, man, it didn't taste bad. It actually tasted good. It was kind of like a really buttery tasting, fatty piece of bacon, like bacon fat, buttery bacon fat. It was
Get
not
down with
bad. I
that.
went in for a second one, and my buddy Rodney actually ate one too. So that was the most exciting.
More balls than me, bro.
Yeah. Thank God I didn't get attacked by a jaguar or an anaconda, but I did eat a grub.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
that's it. Thanks for asking, man.
Yeah.
That's cool shit.
That's awesome. All right. So, Brian,
Yeah, man.
you know me. Are you down with DAD?
Yeah, you know me.
I got the history.
Got,
See what we're doing here?
Yep.
I'm done. Of psychedelics.
I gotta go pee.
Cool. All right, listen. The history of psychedelics, ancient use of psychedelics. Okay. The earliest evidence of psychedelics use can be found in a cave in the, I apologize, Tassili and Ajir region of the Sahara Desert in Algeria.
Okay.
Okay. In this cave is a mural depicting what is referred to as the mushroom man or mushroom shaman, a bee-headed figure with mushrooms sprouting out of his body. Mushrooms identified as psilocybal mushrooms.
Psilocybin.
There's going to be, thank you. There's going to be lots of stuff that I'm going to get wrong.
And how old was that? How old is that?
7,000 to 9,000 years old, this mural.
Okay.
And another early piece of evidence of possible psychedelic use comes from the Salvia Pascuala mural in a cave near Spain. The mural features mushrooms that researchers believe to be psilocybin of a different variety, a local species of psilocybin mushrooms. So the mural is 6,000 years old. There's also evidence use of peyote in the Rio Grande in Texas, dating back to 3,000 to 700 BC. How about that? It does mention Peru. In northern Peru, a stone carving of a deity dating from 1300 BC shows this god holding the San Pedro cactus. Mm-hmm. And then we have mushroom stones indicating the use of psilocybin mushrooms have been found in both Mexico and Guatemala dating back to 1000 to 1500 BC. So, you know what you can take from all of that?
Yeah.
We've been using them forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Forever.
Is anybody surprised? I mean,
No.
you know,
Come on.
we were eating all the things, right?
I often think about this. Like, who was the first dude to pick like an onion out of the ground
Right.
and be like, this is awesome?
I think that about oysters.
Yeah?
Like, who was like, I'm going to crack that thing open and eat that?
Well, and then I wonder, like, all of the, could say, trailblazers that once they figured out that some mushrooms had certain effects than other, there was a lot of, I assume, trial and error, right?
Yeah, that's really ballsy too to even pick up another mushroom and eat it, because you can eat one and it will fucking kill you.
Yeah!
So who's gonna eat the next one we don't know about?
That's what I mean.
You do it. No, you do it. Maybe that's fucking how we got rid of the idiots. You eat this one. Next thing you know, they're running shit. They get the good mushrooms. Next thing you know, fucking next time.
I got an idea!
Yeah, they're like, this guy's not as dumb as we thought.
So the next section I have is the Western discovery of psychedelics. In some time before Westerners discovered the use of psychedelics among cultures, such discoveries were first made by European explorers who sailed to Latin America. Here is a timeline of some of the most famous discoveries. I'll just peruse through this. Ready? In 1496... Friar Raymond Payne, who accompanied Christopher Columbus on his second journey to the Americas, noted how the Taino people of Haiti, the Dominican Republic, would consume a psychoactive snuff called yopo.
Yopo. Mhm.
Okay. This snuff is made from...
Some sort of seeds. I don't know the name.
Yeah, okay, it's huge, and it starts with an A. Sorry, everybody. It's a type of shrub that contains DMT and 5-MeO-DMT. Okay, moving on to that one. 1560, Fray Bernardino, a Spanish missionary priest. I got that wrong. He wrote in his codex about how the Aztecs were using peyote and psilocybic mushrooms. That was 1560. I'm going to jump up to 1864. A French physician reported the use of the iboga root, which contains
West
ibogaine.
Africa.
Yes, in the Congo. Yep. So how about that?
Crazy.
Now,
Yep.
is there a chemical difference between ibogaine and ayahuasca?
There is. These are all. Look, man. These are all just powerful fucking gifts from God. You
Of
know,
course,
like
sure.
Yep.
before we had all this all around us that we wake up and hustle through every day. Before this was all around us, it was just us and the earth
Yeah.
and the elements.
Yep.
And these are just like a banana is a gift from God and the rain is for the crops. You know, these are powerful gifts from God that are given freely for our use and for our connection. And so, yeah, scientifically we know that people around the world have been using different substances, whatever was local to them, to, I think I posit that most religions are probably based off some sort of psychedelic experience.
Yeah, I like to think that Christianity and the burning bush, right?
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah, there's something to be said for other ways of touching divinity, but I mean, these plants are direct tunnels, to the divine, and you can call that whatever you will in whatever religion or part of the world you're in. But yeah, it's no surprise to me. And one of my favorite things that Terence McKenna came up with actually is the stoned ape theory. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later.
Yeah. So this is a
But please.
This is a great possibility. Just briefly, it's just the thought that going through the plains and picking up stuff like we were just talking about to eat. Obviously flipping over the cow patties, they came across these psilocybin mushrooms and had experiences, and it's theorized by McKenna that this helped develop language. It also helped with sex drive, so it helped with the population. It helped with neurogenesis and neuroplasticity, which means new brain cells and opening new neural pathways. And so that all of this sort of led to novel ideas, and so that all of this sort of led to our evolution over time, because we see such a huge jump in human evolution at a certain point. So yeah, that's a fun one. So yeah, it's no surprise to me. And yes, there are different. So ayahuasca has DMT in it, and there are many plants, a lot of plants that contain DMT. But ayahuasca has an MAOI, which allows your body. Most of the time, if we ingest DMT, our bodies will just break it down. But this allows our body to not break it down so that you can feel the effects of it. And one of the most amazing things to me is that in the jungle, there's some, 90,000, 100,000 different trees, shrubs, plants, whatever. But yet somehow thousands of years ago, they discovered if you take this one vine and this one plant leaf and cook it down forever into a very condensed,
how do you figure that out?
the 100,000 plants and whatnot in the jungle. So that's pretty amazing.
You think there was divine intervention there?
I mean that's what I believe.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's what I believe. I mean,
I could get down
either
with
that,
that.
or it's really good luck.
Yeah. I mean, there are
I'll take it
arguments
either
out
way.
there that all of this is really good luck. So it's not, I guess, crazy to think that if there's enough good luck out there. But I also like to think that maybe there's somebody waving a wand or two.
Yeah.
Right.
So DMT is in ayahuasca.
Right.
Psilocybin mushrooms, or magic mushrooms as people call them, contain psilocin. And one of the reasons why mushrooms are being able to be studied again now in universities and other institutions is because they can make psilocin in a laboratory.
Yeah.
And they can also very specifically dose it.
Okay.
So in other words, with ayahuasca, it's a lot about spirit. It's a lot about really a higher dimension and a higher vibration in a very spiritual way. But with the mushrooms and the psilocybin, they can very specifically dose it, and so it's more controlled. Not to say that all the beautiful spiritual and mental and physical side effects aren't in there. It's just different.
Right. Okay.
So that's psilocybin. With Wachuma or San Pedro and peyote, it's a mescaline.
Mescaline. Okay.
It's a mescaline. And that's really not being studied too much anymore, but the MDMA is, because of course, again, they can make it in the lab, and it's
there's like
controlled,
therapeutic.
and ketamine as well. So it's good that we are all starting to realize how beneficial and healing these things are. We're in a very slippery gray area now, because then as soon as there's a whiff that this is going to be moving forward, Big Pharma and other huge institutions are going to come in, sweep in, snatch it up, copyright
That's
everything,
terrifying.
and they're going to make it impossible for normal people to pay for.
Would you like some Brayer branded LSD, Ryan?
No, and
Right.
what they'll do also is make it illegal for anybody to
Of
do.
course, yeah.
Ceremony.
It's like if you're caught right now with an OxyContin and you don't have a prescription, it's illegal, right? And it could be this.
Yep.
It could be the same thing. And again, as I was saying before, like, these are God given. These are freely given by God. I don't know how you can even begin to call them illegal, because if some idiot wants to do so, it's crazy, because if a cop stops somebody and they have a bag of psilocybin mushrooms, they will go to jail.
Yeah. Right.
But if they have a bag of mushrooms where if you eat one, it will fucking kill you, they can have a murderous bag of mushrooms.
That's a
and
great
that's
point, dude.
fine.
Wow.
No, you're free to go.
Yep.
Wow.
I promise I'm not going to
I
feed
mean, I
these
say
to the
fuck
neighbor.
the police anyways. But.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where are we at in our page? I don't know. Oh. Okay, 1799, the first psychedelic mushroom experience in London took place. A father went to gather field mushrooms for his family to eat, as he usually did, but it turned out he picked the psilocybin kind as well.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
Psychedelic kind. Yeah, probably.
His wife was on his ass, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Listen,
I
trip
got
some
something
nuts.
for you, yeah.
Let's see what happens."
I'll cook
Or
tonight.
what happened was he ate, like a cow got in or something, and he ate one and realized it was fucked up, and
Yep.
then the wife was nagging him, so he slipped it in her drink.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
You might be able to comment on this one. In 1851, Spruce, that's all I've got is Spruce, discovered ayahuasca and drank a small amount of the brew.
And what year was that?
1851.
Yeah, I mean, he was a couple thousand years late to the party, but I guess he's back.
But he also doesn't have a last name, or
Yeah, Spruce.
Yeah, Spruce.
Was it
Like
Springsteen?
Prince.
Oh, it might have been. Joel? Spruce Joel? 1887, Dr. J.R. Briggs published an article about his self-experimentation with peyote. In 1897, the pharmacologist Arthur Hefter consumed 150 milligrams of mescaline hydrochloride that he had isolated. This was the very first experience with a purified psychedelic substance. 1897. In 1914, Science magazine published a first-hand account of a man by the name of Mr. W. who ingested psilocybin mushrooms. Cool. In 1938, anthropologist Jean Bassett Johnson and his wife participated in a mushroom ceremony in Mexico. These suck. Oh, here's one. In 1943, Swiss chemist Albert Hofmann took 250 micrograms of LSD, which he had created. If I'm not mistaken, doesn't the story go something to the effect of he accidentally got it on his hands?
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. That's what I've heard as well. Yeah,
Anecdote
that's what
evidence.
I mean, I could see it happening.
Sure.
Maybe it happened after he did it, but
Maybe.
yeah, just dosing himself some really pure.
But
LSD.
what would happen if you got LSD on your hands?
Well, it
probably
goes in
did
through your skin, and he noticed that he got fucked up.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
Especially
like
when they're using
that's
the
how
liquid.
he realized he discovered something.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
59, philosopher Alan Watts tries LSD and reports having a mystical experience. And in the 60s, underground chemists such as Leonard William Picard, Nick Sand, and Oswald Stanley start to manufacture LSD and distribute them to the general public. These chemists produce millions of doses of the compound.
Now, what is natural about LSD?
I don't know.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it's based off of ergot, which is a mold that used to grow on bread, and so I think it's sort of like the active ingredient in it, if I am not mistaken.
All right.
I forget what it stands for. Lysol something.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
That's exactly
man.
what it stands for,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
Hell yeah. Shall we move on? Are we ready for the next thing?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Let's talk about all things psychedelics, everything Zen, right? First guy I want to talk about, you guys know who Timothy Leary was?
Of course.
I got some stuff on him in case you didn't know. Timothy Leary forged a career as a noted psychology professor and researcher before becoming a major, highly controversial advocate of psychedelic drugs during the 1960s. He was imprisoned on marijuana charges and escaped only to be caught. He escaped? I didn't know that part. He later worked in entertainment and cybernetics and published many books.
Yep.
How about that? Do you have any Timothy Leary experiences or stories?
I do.
Yeah?
Kind of.
Kinda?
Yeah.
Cha?
So when I was in New York, I had a huge hippie phase where I had dreads, unlike my buddy right next to me. And I really got into going to fish shows just because I really liked the community. You know what I mean? It was like I was playing in a punk ska band where it was like high energy, like in your face, like
Yeah.
fuck you, fuck the man, you know, like, and then like, and-
Nothing says fuck the man like trombones and trumpets.
right,
Yeah.
No, but it was,
Wah, wah,
yeah, but it was, we were
that.
aggressive ska,
Yeah, okay.
but
We were hardcore ska.
yeah, bro, yeah. But then, like, on the sidelines, I'm like sneaking off and going to fish shows, you know, like,
Right.
that was my side chick.
Okay. I love it, dude.
Sidefish.
And so I saw Fish at Darien Lake in upstate New York, which is like where the Six Flags is.
Okay.
So a pretty big venue.
Yeah.
And they brought out Timothy Leary characters, right? Mm-hmm. And did this whole song where the whole thing was basically like a giant acid trip.
Oh, wow.
Were you, in fact, on acid?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I didn't even know who Timothy Leary was. Like, I
okay.
mean, at that time I was probably like 14, 15.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so like, I think I drank a couple
too
beers and smoked a couple, you know,
Yeah.
couple hits off a blunt. But I was just like, what is happening? This is awesome. And then the guy that went with us explained the whole thing. And I was like, that's fucking cool. You know?
That is cool.
Yeah. And so that's my only experience with Timothy Leary. Like, that's how I learned about it.
Okay. The next guy, do you have any Timothy Leary stuff?
No. He said upstate. He saw somebody upstate, and then Timothy Leary. And I was just thinking about this time. I was living in Manhattan, I think, and I took a bus up to Saratoga to see a Lollapalooza, and I just remember the Beastie Boys were there and some other people. But I went up on a bus by myself, and it poured rain, and it was like on this horse track or something.
So
and,
that's Saratoga, SPAC.
Okay, yeah.
Saratoga Performing Arts Center.
I don't know. It was a
That's
race
an
track. It was a
awesome name.
It was a
Saratoga
horse
horse
track.
race. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So I went by myself. I took the few-hour bus trip up from the city, and I got some acid when I got there. And bro, was it so strong? And it was raining, and everything was muddy and slippery. And I was like, literally, I feel like for 2 hours, I just wandered around like a zombie, just completely lost, just out of it, dude. I remember trying to go up and watch the Beastie Boys, and I was just so fucking high, you know. But like. It felt good, but like I didn't know what was happening.
Right.
And then I realized that there was no bus leaving to go back at night, so I'm like soaking wet and tripping balls up in Saratoga.
Oh God.
Yeah, dude, and and so I went to where the bus stop was going to be in the morning, and it was like some parking lot somewhere. And I slept in the parking lot. There were free newspapers there. That's when people read papers. And I just wrapped them around my arms like fucking the Michelin Man.
Yeah.
And around my legs and curled up in the parking lot.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's my story about Timothy Leary / upstate New York.
I like it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't have a story like
I
that.
like it.
Not even a little bit. But guess what? We can talk about Terrence McKenna a little bit. He was born in November 16th, 1946.
Yeah.
I think my mom was born in 46.
Yeah.
Yeah. He died April 3rd, 2000.
McKenna, trailblazer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge on mushrooms. I'm sorry. Did you have more to add to that?
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now
What was
his,
his
his
big
his brother Dennis is now sort of like picking up where he left off.
Oh, that's cool.
In his own right. Yeah, he's been doing it for decades as well. No, they just traveled around a lot when they were young. You know, this is back in the days in the 60s and whatnot. And they would just they went to the jungle and they took massive amounts of all the fucking things, all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Where the trees were speaking to them and
Yep.
things were opening up, totally going in,
Yeah.
And so he was a big pioneer on that. So a lot of what he has to share are just beautiful, profound insights for people, particularly in the community or with experience, because they can relate a little bit. But he had a lot of really good thoughts, and he was also big on DMT. People are into smoking DMT right now. I have my own thoughts on that, but he was really big into that, and the talking about the machine elves and the whole.
Oh, I have machine
whole
elves.
world
What
in
are?
there.
Can you please tell me?
Yeah,
what are machine elves?
Look, I've never smoked DMT. I have in a different form, Bufo alvarius, which is the secretion of the Sonoran desert toad, but I have not.
Whoa,
smoked,
that's cool.
I have not smoked synthetic DMT. So when you take the natural form, it doesn't. There are no machine elves, and you sort of are not taken to I hear tell that
Okay.
when you smoke regular DMT, you go to a place,
Uh-huh.
you're in this place, and these jokers or jesters or elves or whatever might appear. But there's none of that with the Bufo alvarius. It's a different, slightly different molecule too. So it's 5-MeO DMT in the Bufo alvarius, and it's NN-DMT in the synthetic kind that you vape. So they're slightly different. But I've never experienced the elves, but people see all sorts of entities in there, and and I have to wonder why everybody is.
That's what I was
having a
just
very
about to
similar
ask. Yeah,
experience.
is it a shared similar hallucination type?
It might just be a different dimension that for a moment you're able to tap into.
Yeah,
If you think about it, our bodies, all our senses, our smell and sight and sound and touch and taste and everything is filtering. There's so the energies in the universe. It's
Yeah.
the universal energy,
Right.
so
Sure.
much. So our bodies are like filters, and we just shut out the majority of it. And I think in my opinion, possibly my theory is that for a moment, you're opened up to that more because your senses are shut down and you're open. And so for a moment, you may be able to go into a dimension that is possibly here all around us all the time, but that we're just closed off to.
Yeah.
And you might be able to touch that for just a moment. And there might be other realms and other dimensions where there are things happening that we are just not aware of. And I mean, lives being had or what have you, things at play.
I hope
that we
so.
just
There.
don't-
I hope there are, man,
Yeah.
because it's boring sometimes here.
Yeah.
I want the universe where I'm president and there's dogs walking people and shit. Fuck, where's that one at?
So I smoked DMT one time.
Okay. do
Whoa,
tell.
you did?
Yeah.
How'd that
Oh my
go?
gosh! Did you
see
did
the
you smoke
elves?
the crystals? Did you vape it? What did you do?
It was just in a bowl. Somebody was just yo, I was at Buddy's house.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like a good place to do.
And I was just whatever, let's
Yeah.
go.
You got this reverend thing, and you're just hey,
Yeah.
here you go.
Yeah. So I did, and it felt like 3 hours,
Yeah.
right? Come to find out, it was 6 minutes.
Yeah. Less than 10
Yep.
minutes usually. Yeah.
But yeah, I went it was completely different than ayahuasca.
It is.
Right.
It's not even close. Not
But
even comparable.
In the same comparison, it was a fast track to where I was going, right? With ayahuasca, it was a fast track to my inner monologue, my everything that
Higher self.
I pushed to the back burner. Yep. Everything I don't want to think about. That I don't want, hurt, any kind of anger, any kind of, This one just brought me literally, it felt to the cosmos, where I saw, I felt like I was watching the universe spinning around.
And how did that make you feel? How did you feel?
I was uncomfortable, but at peace,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Peacefully uncomfortable?
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
it's so foreign.
Yeah.
But then once you get there and you're stuck there and you realize you're there and there's nothing you can do about
Yep.
it, you realize that it's peaceful, isn't it?
So I was just kind of at first, it was too much. Mm-hmm. I can imagine watching me from the outside, and I was probably very uncomfortably freaking out a little bit. Mm-hmm. But then it was just no, soak this in, right? there was also the opposite of ayahuasca. I feel like I didn't gain anything from it.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just
Like, I
visited
did-
a place
Yep.
rather than learned anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where
this-
ayahuasca is like it's
It's a teacher. Ayahuasca is a teacher.
Yep.
Yes. And so I agree with you mostly on that. And I think, you know, and the synthetic DMT I have my own opinions on. But I also think these powerful medicines are possibly used for different things. So maybe one is not for this thing that you're dealing with or you need to get through or discover or manifest, but maybe this one is. And so, like you were saying, like ayahuasca is a teacher, you know, you have some time to really sit with it and think about it and go deep and contemplate some things and really deal with some shit, you know, and also still on the way out, still feel that connection, still feel that source of love and divinity and realize that your life is so much more. And with the smokable kind, it is so quick that I question how much you can really integrate those lessons, because with the slower ayahuasca one, you can come back and be like, okay, I remember being told this or seeing this or remembering this or feeling this. So now let me go to work on changing
More time
this.
to process
Yep.
shit.
Right. What can I do now to manifest some real changes in that better direction?
Right.
But with the quicker one, it's so much, so fast. It's like boom, and then you come back and you're like, okay, what the fuck do I do with that?
Yeah.
That was divine, but like, what the fuck do I do now? How do I make changes off of what I just learned? And so I think DMT, either the synthetic kind or the Bufo alvarius, I think is really good for people who are going through a real existential crisis, and they need a very quick connection with divinity to feel that things are so much greater and so much more love than what they feel they are in their bodies right now. And so that remembrance is powerful in itself.
Right.
So some people who just need that very quick remembrance because they're going through something very intense in their life, I think it's very beneficial for. Ayahuasca, I still believe would be better to process all that stuff more fully over time. But if you need like something very quick, a quick remembrance, I think those are good for that. Anyway, that's my piece on that.
Very cool.
So in a couple words,
Uh-huh.
we'll sum it up as this.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Ayahuasca is like that you're the perfect girl, right? And you know what? You want to make love. You want to make this thing beautiful and perfect, and you want to learn a lesson, and you want to be with this thing forever. Where smokable DMT is kind of like that slut you pick up at the bar and just like hit it and call it a day.
Awesome. Okay.
Right.
No comment.
Okay. Alrighty then.
Perfect.
Shall we move on? Hey, you guys want to talk about MK Ultra real quick?
Yeah.
I love this.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. On April 10th, 1953, Alan Dulles, the newly appointed director of the CIA, delivered a speech to a
Dulles.
gathering of Princeton alumni. Though the event was mundane, global tensions were running high. The Korean War was coming to an end, and earlier that week, the New York Times had published a startling story asserting that American POWs returning from the country may have been converted by communist brain washers. Some GIs were confessing to war crimes like carrying out germ warfare against the communists, a charge the U.S. categorically denied. Others were reportedly so brainwashed that they had refused to return to the United States at all. As if that weren't enough, the U.S. was weeks away from secretly sponsoring sponsoring the overthrow of a democratically elected leader in Iran. The CIA director had just become the first civilian director of the agency, growing more powerful by the day, and the speech provided an early glimpse of his priorities for the CIA. In the past few years, we've become accustomed to hearing much about the battle for men's minds, the war for ideologies. It goes on to basically say...
MK Ultra was when the CIA, and that's Dulles.
Dulles, sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm good. I'm good at mispronouncing things.
They were looking into like brainwashing, you know.
Right.
And I guess first of all, it's no wonder that soldiers came back from war and didn't want to fucking go.
Yeah.
You know, like surprise. But anyways, they did think, I think, that the Russians were like brainwashing people, and so they had to get into the game, and so they started studying LSD, and of course, you know, there's all the things about where they would get Johns, they would work with prostitutes, and so the prostitutes would go get Johns, and then
I heard about
there'd
this.
be like people on the other side of the one-way mirror, and they would dose the Johns and, you know, take notes on them, and then they actually experimented on soldiers as well to see the effects, but it wasn't the brainwashing, you know, potion that they thought it was going to be.
Wasn't
Clearly.
gonna. They were trying to find a truth serum, right?
Truth serum,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Fuck them. Fuck those guys. Brian, fuck those guys. Hey, guess what? You want to hear some good news?
Yeah.
As I was trolling through the internet, I'm not a troll, but as I was going through the internet, I came onto the legalization is for psychedelics in general is becoming more and more of a positive outlook because guess what? It came to as a surprise. It came to a surprise to many when February 3rd, Australian regulators announced that medicines containing the psychedelic substances MDMA and psilocybin can soon be used there to treat post-traumatic stress disorder. How about that, Australia?
Awesome.
They're pretty tight knit on a lot of stuff.
Yep, that's cool.
The thing is here's the problem with this. It sounds good to legalize. But then once they legalize, as we discussed before, they're going to come in and they're going to like heavily regulate, which, you know, is a whole other discussion and an important one on safety and respect. But if I almost think it's better to decriminalize it rather than to legalize it.
That's what people said about weed too. And I
Yeah.
mean, at least so far, the legal cannabis market hasn't done too much, I don't think, to alter. I mean, what do I know? I don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, medical is expensive, but you know what you're getting. It's
Yeah.
strong. It's,
Now that's a good positive outlook if say for instance psilocybin or mushroom, for right now in Florida it's just medical. So if I go and pay $200 to a doctor, he'll write me a prescription. Then I can go and I pay like a club fee at the local weed shop, and then I can buy it for a pretty decent price and legally and all that. So now if that were to be the same way with mushrooms, it'd be cool. Okay, let me
Yeah.
go pay you $200.
More like a gray market.
I'll get my legal card, and then
Yep.
let me go and find out if I want penis envy or fucking blue tidal waves. You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, also in the future, what about sensory deprivation? You guys know anything about sensory deprivation tanks?
Yeah, I've done it once.
You
Is
have?
it fun?
Yeah, I did it actually. I
Fun.
did it actually after I came back from a ceremony. Was it fun? It was relaxing. I mean, it was relaxing.
Yeah.
I didn't have any mind-blowing
Did you
experience,
just-
and I was really like breathing and doing
Yeah,
my
same.
meditation.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I was there for it, but I didn't have any. Doesn't mean people can't have them. I'm sure they can, especially if they're not used to something like that.
Right.
Then it might be very foreign, and they might really, have a good
Yeah.
good time in there. So I've done that. So that's.
How long is it?
I think it was about an hour.
Yeah. Okay.
But the idea is to not be able to tell, right? Well, I guess you
Yeah.
could. Oh, it was this time when
Yeah.
I went in and this time when I
Right.
went out. But
Yeah.
what
But
if-
I mean,
how
you-
long did
you
it feel
hear
like?
about-
An hour. I don't know. I'm pretty good with time.
Okay.
You hear about monks that go into meditation for days and weeks
Yeah.
and years.
Yeah.
And that that they don't age because they're in such deep meditation, and that's intense.
Have you done the sensory deprivation tank?
No.
Have either one of you? No.
Nope.
Yeah, it's an attempt to use natural means to get to some sort of psychedelic experience, and holotropic breathing.
Now, what's
Holotropic
that?
breathing is it also known as breath work.
Yeah.
Really, when it gets right down to it, it's really just like over oxygenating your system. You're just I'm
It's okay.
gonna hit that 6,000 more times.
That's okay.
I can't help it. I'm always talking with my
All
hands.
good.
But it's just really a lot of heavy breathing to over oxygenate, but also, it's a great release in so many ways of emotions and things that people have stuck in them and whatnot. So, and it can get you to a really deep place of release as well. So that's
Cool.
that's another one that can be used. It's all natural, of course. Meditation is time tested, throughout history.
Yeah.
We know that the ones that went and sat and closed their fucking eyes and shut the fuck up and didn't, and just let it be for days possibly at a time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they got there too.
Sure.
And but these plants, when used with respect and safely, are just like a bit of a hack there
Right.
to get there.
Awesome. Let's skip the next thing and go on to the next thing after that. How about that? What do you think?
Sounds good.
Awesome. So that means it's time for segments.
Okay.
Now's the time of the show where we get goofy, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about, I have a bunch of people that had a bad trip, man. In one way or another, they had a bad trip.
Rough.
Can we talk about the first one?
Yep.
First one, the headline is over $1,000 falls out of an alleged drug dealer's butt in county jail. Can you imagine?
Rough.
Do you imagine it was when he was stripped down and they had him bend over to check?
Yeah, because they make you squat and cough.
They sure do.
Yep.
It was way
I mean,
up
I'm-
there.
I'm never-
$1,000? Like, can you imagine the cop thinking about just like an ATM?
In all tens.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, exactly. The next one, and I might read a little bit more about this one. Vatican drug orgy. broken up by cops.
Sounds right.
right.
Sounds
Yeah,
about right.
the Epic Parties Department. A priest at the Vatican was caught by police in a big gay drug orgy.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
He's just human. Give the guy a break.
I mean, hey.
You know.
Yeah, I guess there could have.
It's not the first time Catholics have been wrong.
I was going to say something about. Anyways, all right. How about this one? A guy dressed as the Joker was arrested for wearing a mask. That doesn't seem cool. In March.
Wait. But if he's the Joker, he doesn't have a mask on, right? So
Well,
they got him for face paint?
I guess. Yeah.
Huh.
This was in Washington, D.C. Police say he was walking around carrying a big sword.
Oh, well, they lost the fucking mask, man, wasn't it?
It might have something to do with the giant 3-foot
We're
cleaver.
not cuffing you for the sword. It's for the fucking face paint.
Yeah.
Too much red on the lips, dude. But I like your sword.
The katana's pretty sweet, bro.
They have this thing that's like not entered into evidence. It's just a katana. How about this one? A man farts at a detective until he's released. Generally, when being interrogated by police, it's best to keep your mouth shut unless you have a lawyer by your side. But maybe there's another way to get out of trouble. This dude in Kansas was riding in a car in which police found drugs and 2 handguns. Not cool. He was taken in for further questioning. When detective asked him about his address, he leaned to one side of his chair and released a loud fart before answering with the address. The detective wrote in his report about the interrogation, the barrage of farts continued. And according to the detective, he continued to be flatulent. So I ended the interview. Oh my gosh, he wasn't charged, but later they found other stuff on him. So he was. How about this one? A woman was caught smoking weed in a parking lot before her court summons for weed possession. She was in the parking lot of the courthouse.
Yeah.
This says she was in a spot that says PD parking only, and she was hotboxing. My
trolling 'em
goodness.
Could you imagine if she made it into her court hearing? It's like, you guys got nuggets? I'll take a 2-piece, a 12-piece.
Ma'am, we're here today to discuss weed possession. Y'all got some?
You got some? Who's holding?
The headline for this one says, Circumcision by gun. A robber shot himself in the groin at a hot dog stand in Chicago. A robber in Chicago faced the ultimate punishment when he shot his own dick, according to the Sun-Times in October. This is kind of sad. He was only 19. A 19-year-old guy held up a hot dog stand with a gun in West Pullman neighborhood on the city's south side shortly after 6 a.m. What hot dog stand is open at like 5:30? After snatching the cash, he made a break for it. And the gun actually discharged.
The one that sells meth is.
Yeah, that might not have been a hot dog stand
Nope.
at
That was
all.
a trap house.
How about an alleged kidnapper, which normally is not cool, but he takes a nap at a crime scene. Okay, always is not cool. Sorry. But he takes a nap at the crime scene, so he doesn't get too far.
He was napping at the kidnapping.
I got confused. I didn't know which kind of napping I was supposed to do. This one says a guy hiding from cops falls through a ceiling and lands right in front of the cops. This happened in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Scranton.
That makes
I love
sense.
Yep.
it. Yeah, of course that's where you would land, right?
It all checks out.
Yeah. So that's all I got for that. What do you think about that, Brian?
I like it.
Oh my gosh, what do you think about that, Shane?
I love it, dude.
Love it. Are we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, Brian, this is your part of the show where you can talk as in-depth or as shallowly, if that's a word, about your recent experience.
So the reason I love the retreats is the camaraderie. Okay.
Well,
Everyone's there.
before you go in too much further, for anyone that wasn't listening last week, can you tell us when you say retreat? Can you
Yes.
describe a little bit about what you did
It
this
is an
weekend?
ayahuasca retreat.
Okay.
Yep. And it was what, 10 guys?
10 guys.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep. And everyone's there for each other,
Mm-hmm.
right? It is the most
Beautiful.
beautiful. Yeah.
You
No,
It's
can
okay.
say it.
No.
You can say
Yo,
it.
we are big mushy mushes on this
no,
thing.
here's the thing. I'm gonna say, beautiful. Like if you can combine, like my hair's sticking up. Like most beautiful, savage, gorgeous, mind-altering thing I've ever done. Right. And the thing is, every time is different, right? And so it's like you can go in nervous about it because, the medicine's still working from the night before, or medicine's working before you even walk in the door, because there's already a plan for you during this. You know, that's what I've realized this time. And it's your choice to let it happen or not. You can try and mentally fight it, physically fight it. And that's why this year when I went, I was just like, I'm letting go. I have no control. Let it happen. And it was beautiful. Because the first time I didn't know what was going, I didn't know what was happening. So your brain, like Shane was saying, everything has a filter. Because we're raised to be that way, right? You're raised to look out for something that could be harmful. You know, your fight, your
fight or flight.
Yep, fight or flight kicks in, and you either can sit there and just enjoy the ride, or be miserable fighting it, right? But the beauty of it is if you actually soak it in, right? Like people can go to it and say like, yeah, I got this, I got that, and not integrate anything into real life. But if you do, it's the most magical, powerful thing I've ever done. So on that note, thank you.
Yeah. It you said something like beautiful and savage at the same time, and it is. And you also said you can either fight it or you can try to enjoy the ride.
Yep.
And that's just fucking life, isn't it?
Yep.
True.
It's fucking savage.
Yep.
It's savage.
And it's
I mean,
beautiful.
the four noble truths. The first one of Buddhism. The first one is life is suffering.
Yep.
And so many times I think people don't want it to suck, but life fucking sucks sometimes. So okay, we know that now. Check. We know that now. What the fuck do we do?
Right.
Now we learn how to fucking cope with it. We breathe through and we try to enjoy the fucking ride.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say, Brian, I personally have never had a psychic experience of any kind, but I saw you before you left, and I saw you when you got back.
Yeah.
Two different people,
Yeah.
day and night,
Absolutely.
100%. You know what I mean?
I'm
I was
like-
worried
I'm like-
about you. I mean, I'm always worried about everybody, but
Bro,
I was
I'm
a
like-
little
I'm-
worried
I'm
about
like-
you when you left.
Like the same as last year when I left.
Uh-huh.
I'm just like ready to fucking take on the world. Like the only thing that's holding me back is me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So get the fuck out of my own way.
Dads, rise up!
Rise up!
That's what, rise up.
Tell me about
Because-
the manatees, please. Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, the manatees were beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was awesome. Yep.
very cool. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Did they get the video or the?
It's in the group chat.
Yeah, cool.
It's in the group chat.
Yeah, it was cool. And the boat captains were both awesome. They were hilarious.
Yeah, they were really cool. It was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
I love manatees.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, dude.
But so last year we went cave diving, and that was awesome. Because
That water must have been cold.
you don't know. Well, no, this was there was no water in the caves. The manatees, the water was cold as
I
fuck.
got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. The manatees, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the caves, we would find a little nook, and they would just if you crawl for 12 feet, it opened up to this beautiful cavern, to where you could stand up and
And this is important to get out. It's not just you going into the woods tripping balls for a weekend.
So first of all, I just want to back up to something that Brian said just a second ago about integration, and I want to be really clear what these medicines are and what they are not.
Yeah.
So ayahuasca will help show you the path, and it will lighten the path. But then when you come back, we use the word integration. Now you've got to start to walk that path. And that means changing the way you did things, because doing things the same old way is going to get you the same bad results that you've been getting. So now that you've seen the possibilities and know what can and should be done, now you have to go and make it happen. And that's where the real work begins. And then one has to decide, how badly do I want to change? How badly do I want my life to be better? Instead of whining, instead of being a victim, instead of complaining about fucking whatever it is. And we've got so much to complain about. None of it matters. So what do we do now? And yes, going back to the manatees is fucking amazing, divine, these huge, creatures. The nearest living land relative is an elephant. That's a good little nugget.
Yeah.
Oh, really? They're like water pachyderms then.
Exactly.
That's cool.
They even have the nipple under the arm like elephants. So
I had no idea.
I think we've all learned something. But
Yes, I learned two things. I learned elephants and manatees have nipples under their arms.
Yeah.
Wow.
But with my retreats, they're very different from other ones because you're not going to go out and do these sort of things. But with the men's retreats in particular, I think it's very important for us to get out into nature.
Yeah.
First of all, as a group, so we can support each other because we're all sort of still wide open from the night's events. And also to get out and sort of be around other people. So we got to interact with the two captains, and they were amazing and stuff. But so it gives us, and we've been whitewater rafting. So we're going to go to a place where there's other tourists and other families and the other instructors and whatnot. So it's a real time chance for us to practice some of the stuff that we've just learned last
Really
night.
cool. Wow.
With patience, compassion, faith, love, understanding, boundaries, all the things. So it's a great time. We have a freaking blast, and we had so many laughs. But it's also like there's a point to it as well.
Yeah.
And with the men's retreats, it's really special too, because the guys can just fuck off and say all the dumb jokes we want to say,
Sure.
and just have a good fucking time.
Yeah. Dick jokes are important, dude. They're
They
important for
are.
healing.
But then
Good for the soul.
what? It's crazy because at the end of it, all of us are like literally like brothers to the end now. It's like
You have
Everyone
been
had their-
something
yeah.
together,
Yep.
through something together. Yeah.
it's like you almost been a battle.
right. You
Yeah.
have been
Yep.
spiritual battle. You're going to
Dude,
war with yourself.
I remember, speaking of the jungle thing from before, I remember you saying the second night from the last weekend, right?
Yeah.
And he literally goes, "Tonight is the night. We're not going to the jungle. The jungle's fucking coming to us."
See, that's intense shit. I would
And-
just don't say shit like that if I'm about to go to the cosmos.
Oh,
Don't.
And it did.
The jungle came.
Oh, okay.
The jungle
No!
Listen
Listen to me. This is what I
jungle
want.
came all over us. Just,
The jungle bukkake all over us.
Ah,
Yeah.
my God, so much.
We got DP'd by the jungle.
Oh God, no! I don't want that. All I want. This is all I want. All I want are perfect fifths and major thirds in my ear. That's all I want.
Well, so did I tell you about part of one of my journeys? I think it was the first night where the music was going. Everything was just so fucking perfect, right?
Uh huh.
Like I never felt so alive to the point where I was like, this is your skin. This isn't anyone else's, right? You're just like, and you,
Sure.
You like take no, but you take a deep breath, like a couple deep breaths, and you're like, I'm alive. I can do anything. I can do anything I fucking want.
Yeah.
And at that point, you feel like just a freight train. Like
Yeah. Let's go.
anything that's in my way, get the fuck out because I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going to my destiny, my goals, my dreams. Get out the way, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so the music was going, and at one point I was like, felt like I was conducting it. Yep. I was just like, the drums were battering. I was like,
Were you like, give me a little bit less, give me
yep,
more?
Yep. You, this is okay.
Trill this.
Yeah, yeah.
Playing
But
with
I
it.
was, and I just, but I was like swimming, you know what I mean? Like in the music. And it was just so beautiful. Oh, it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I just want perfect fifths and major thirds, please. Just those two intervals, just
No, you're
on
going
a
to go in this
constant
thing.
oscillation.
You're going this
Nope.
thing and you're getting.
Nope. I want a D and an A in one ear, and I want a D and an F sharp in the other ear.
No,
That's
you're
it.
getting minor fourths.
I don't want that. No, that'll take me to a sad place. I don't want minor anything. Oh my gosh, are we gonna move on, Brian?
let's go.
All right, let's do the next thing, which is going to be. Oh shit, we got a phone call. I'm almost certain I hit the wrong button. Hello?
Is this DadBod?
Oh shit! Is this Nomi?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, dude, we haven't talked to you in so long.
What's going on, guys?
How are you doing? You're calling us. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
no, I heard you guys were talking about those magical mushrooms that I love.
We may be discussing some sacred vessels, yeah? What of it, Nomi? What of it?
Well, I mean, shit. I'm surrounded by those fuckers every day.
Yeah? What can you tell me about your experience with some of these?
They're delicious with a little bit of butter.
Yeah?
Yep.
What have you... Now, let me ask you this. You being a magical creature and all,
Yeah.
do they affect you the same way that they affect normal people?
Well, check this shit out.
Uh-huh.
You realize I'm about 1/20th of your size, right?
Uh-huh.
So let's just say my little balls trip pretty good.
Do you trip so hard that you show up in other people's trips?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
It's my favorite.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you like to do? Do you like to come to them and try to teach them lessons, or do you just fuck with them? What do you tell them?
I'll suck on their nuts a little, you know, just give them a little...
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Were
Shane,
you...
Shane, I
Yes,
saw you a couple weeks ago.
you did.
Yeah.
That was you on my nuts.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Man, can I say, I never thought I'd meet a donkey in my life. But this fucking guy.
3 inches from the floor, is that what you're trying?
I couldn't even get my little hands around them guys.
You had to use both hands?
Yeah.
Yeah? Nomi.
Yeah.
Well, I've got you here. I've got some questions.
Shoot.
Have you signed up for Snatch Chat yet?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
You're the only user. Have you had bucket juice today?
Yes, I have.
Awesome. What's your favorite psychedelic substance?
Salvia.
Salvia. Oh, there's one we haven't discussed. Yeah? What's great about salvia?
Salvia is,
It's your ex-wife's name?
yes. Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch.
She went on a trip out the door.
Yeah. Titties out in Fort Lauderdale.
Gnome titties out.
Very cool.
You know me.
You know me.
Yeah.
Nomi, did you hear the rap?
Yeah, dude.
What'd you think?
It sucks shit.
Oh, come on, man. We worked real hard.
Yeah. Next time, put me in.
Wow, that's true.
Okay.
That's true. Yeah. Nomi, it's always a treat to hear from you, but sadly, I don't care why you called.
Well,
Because
I just want to say hi,
hello.
and I hope you guys all enjoy your trips.
Thank you, Nomi.
Yeah.
It's always nice to hear from you. Please don't do anything that we wouldn't do.
Oh, I try.
I know you will.
Bye, Nomi.
Bye, Nomi. My goodness, Brian.
That was
That
cool.
dude-
Yeah, he's.
He's a little crazy.
He sounds like he's a little crazy.
You know, there's always that relative that's like you're not sure how you're related to him, but like he's just kind of there at Thanksgiving, and he
Yep.
always gets a plate,
Yep.
and he's sleeping on the couch.
Yep.
Somehow he's always there when you show up, and he's still there when you leave.
Yep.
And for all you know, he's there all year long, or she.
Yep.
That's
I'd
Nomi.
like to hang out with Nomi sometime.
He's fun, dude.
I think I'd like to hang out with his ex-wife actually
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
Well,
Y'all want to go to Lauderdale?
forgive me if I'm mistaken, but doesn't he have a couple of kids?
Yeah.
Did Nomi have a couple?
32.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, no, but then he ate 2 of them.
Well, no, he threw one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I don't know. The number, he's got a fluid amount of kids. We'll say that. That means, Brian, guess what?
What do we got?
Dad jokes.
Let's fucking go.
Oh, my gosh. So this has become our bread and butter, hasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah? All right, let me get this set up. Who wants to go first?
Man, you guys got scripts out here.
We do. We take this shit sort of kind of seriously. Are you ready, Brian? You want me to go first? Or you want to go first?
You go first.
All right, hang on.
All right, shoot.
Hey, Brian!
Hey, what?
Why did the blonde snort artificial sweetener?
Why?
Because she thought it was Diet Coke.
Yes.
Oh, God, there you go.
Whoa.
Make sure it's still recording.
Yeah, we're good. We're
Okay.
good.
All right. You ready?
Hey, Andrew.
Hey, man.
What's the difference between oral sex and anal sex?
Tell me.
One makes your whole day, one makes your whole week.
Oh, my goodness. Is that WEAK?
Yep.
Yeah. Shane, would you like to go? You want to let it?
Do I get to play
Play out?
along with the dad
Yeah,
jokes? Okay, so
course.
this is some people may have heard this one before, and it's not mine.
Okay.
But
Run it.
the other day I'm at the beach and someone's waving at me, and
Yeah.
you know how sometimes you can't tell if they're waving at you or the person behind me. So, anyways, in unrelated news, I lost my job as a lifeguard.
That's really good, dude.
That's really good.
That was good.
Nice. Nice. I like that.
All right, Brian, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right, man. Why should you never buy any shoes from a drug dealer?
Why?
Well, you won't be able to tell what he laced them with. You might be tripping all day.
Jesus.
It's so bad.
So bad.
I love it. Oh, my gosh. Whoop.
Oh,
Whoop.
all right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not the only one.
Hey, Shane.
Oh.
What's up, buddy?
What's up?
Why do they say that raw oysters are great for sex?
I don't know, dude.
Because if you eat that shit, you're going to fucking eat anything.
Ooh.
This is true, and I love oysters.
Me too.
I'm indifferent.
Yep.
Indifferent about them, but that's
Funny
okay.
because you mentioned oysters earlier, and I was like,
Hey, Brian,
Yeah.
what do you call a dictionary on drugs?
What?
A dictionary. A dictionary.
Oh, my God. Both of us were like,
I was like,
no.
I was trying to figure out, I was like, how high are you?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, I apologize. You got it more?
Yeah.
Of course you do. Wait. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Be careful. Doink.
Yes.
Hey, Andrew,
What?
what's the difference between your wife and your job?
What?
After 5 years, your job's still going to suck.
Ah, nice.
All right, I got one more.
Give us.
I
Go,
got
please.
I lost my job as a bank teller the other day. A woman asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her.
I love it. Love it.
His delivery is spot on.
Yeah,
Like,
for
that's- That was like Mitch Hedberg shit. I love it.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Shane.
Yeah, man.
Did you hear about the neighborhood barber who got arrested for dealing drugs?
No.
Most have been his customers for years. They have no idea he was a barber.
Yep. Yep.
That's good.
Any barbershop in the hood, you know where to get it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, where are you going, honey? I'm going to get some plugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to get tightened up.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Hey, Shane.
Yeah, man.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
How is walking a tightrope the same as fucking a $10 whore?
I don't know.
Don't fucking look down. Don't do it.
Nice.
All right. I got another one.
Yes.
do it.
Yes.
All right. Me and my girl were fighting the other night, and then she took her top off. It was a booby trap.
Ah, great. Good stuff.
Fight was over.
Over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brian, this one is specifically for you. Are you
Yeah, I
ready?
can't wait.
All right. Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
What do you call Mike Tyson on drugs?
What?
Methed up.
Ah.
Andrew,
Hey, man.
what do you call two guys at a bar fighting over a whore?
Tell me.
God, fuck, I blew it. That's not the end of the joke. Hey, Andrew. Andrew.
Yeah, man.
Andrew.
Take two.
Yeah, the Matrix glitched. Sorry. Andrew,
Yes.
what do you call two drunk guys fighting over a slut at a bar?
What?
Tug a whore.
Ah.
That's how I blew it. See?
You did. It's okay.
Yeah.
You got one?
I don't.
Okay, where was I at? All right. Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
If there was someone selling drugs around here, we'd know.
Weed wood.
Weed would.
Hey, Shane.
Hey, man.
Oh, hey,
Oh.
when is it okay to fight Nomi?
When is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
When he says your hair smells like a dumpster.
What the fuck?
That was just mean spirited. I
Yeah.
think. That wasn't even.
That was awful.
No, they're talking about pubes. Because Nomi's so short.
Oh, okay. You came up with that all by yourself?
Yeah.
You couldn't have flubbed that one?
Right? Your delivery was spotless on that one, man. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Shane.
Hey, man.
I'm trying to write a joke about cocaine. I need a line to end it.
Shame on you.
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Yeah, dude. That's
Oh
it.
my
That's it.
gosh.
That's it.
All right. Hey, Brian.
Yeah, dude.
Why did the Mexican start taking Xanax?
Why?
To help with his panic attacks. Sorry, guys. Oh, your silence says enough.
Go
Okay, moving
yeah,
on.
I like it.
All right. Hey, Brian.
Yeah, dude.
I said no to drugs, looked a bag of weed right in the eye, and like a stern, loving father, said no. I was pretty high.
Yes.
I got one more. Are you ready?
Yep.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, man.
Did you miss 420?
No.
Let's try that again.
It's contagious.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Did you miss 420?
I think I did.
Don't worry, because 422 is 422.
I see what you did there.
I
That's
like it.
ridiculous. This has been Dad Jokes. Oh my gosh, does that mean it's time to do all of our intro or outro shit?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, can you believe it, Brian?
Outro shit.
Outro shit is time to do it. First
shit.
of all, we would just like to say, Shane, thank you so much for coming and
Yeah.
hanging out with us.
Thank you.
It's a hefty one, and so we really appreciate your time and energy coming out and talking with us.
Thanks for having me. It's been awesome.
We would also like to say thank you to anybody who stayed till the end of this video. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please. Shane, is there anywhere we can check you out?
Yeah. On Instagram, you can find me on midnight_prophet_. That's prophet, PROPHET. So midnight_prophet_. And then I'm on Spotify and stuff as Midnight Prophet as well.
You said you got a book coming out.
The book, I'm working on the book hard.
Yeah.
The book's working on me. Hope
I
After
can't wait.
Dope. Hope After Dope. My journeys with addiction, ayahuasca, and God. Just keep an eye out for that.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. It's been fun.
I'm stoked for the book.
Yeah, man. Brian, do you have any shout outs?
You know what? I'm going to shout out Shane. I'm going to shout out anybody who did the ceremony with us last weekend.
Hey, somebody shouting you out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah, the whole crew from last weekend. Shout out to you, Andrew.
Thank you.
You know, with like this new outlook on life, I'm like, let's shout out fucking
Shout out life.
good people.
Yeah, shout out the universe.
You know, like people that aren't dickheads these days. You know, it's like
You know what, though? Let's shout out the dickhead. They need love, too.
Shout out the
Probably-
dickheads. They're just afraid and ignorant. And,
They
you
need
know,
more love
shout
than the
out
non-dickheads, right?
Yeah,
Dickheads.
Shout out dickheads.
They make the world go round. What can we do?
yeah, it's true.
Shane, you got any shout outs?
Shout out dickheads.
Shout out to the dickheads
You know
out there,
what?
yeah.
Yeah, shout
Especially
out,
on the
shout
road,
out.
man. Fuck.
And she won't hear it, but shout out to my daughter who is amazing.
Oh,
there you
man,
go.
I'm so glad. Because it's DadBod. We didn't even talk about...
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you'll come back.
Yeah.
Next
Yep,
time, it'll be
Next time.
all about that.
The kids can wait.
This is dad time. It's dad time. That's
First,
right.
we talk medicine,
Yeah,
then kids.
That's
That's
good.
good.
Well, you have to get yourself right before you can help others.
That's right. Full circle.
Yeah. I would like to shout out Ricky from the winery. What up, dude? And I would also like to shout out my friend Dan. Hello. If you would like to reach out to us in any way, there are several avenues in which to do so. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can always leave a comment. We have several that we may read in a minute. If you're wanting to give us something a little bit more direct, you can leave us an email at daddboddband@gmail.com.
Lot of D.
Lots of D's. We
Oh, yeah.
listen. We enjoy D's here at DadBod. That's something that we love to do. I got some emails.
Yeah.
Shall we read some?
Yeah.
This first one comes to us from Unicorns Are Real. Unicorns Aerial. That's cute. Hey guys, hope you had a great holiday. I was wondering if you could do a segment about giving the birds and the bees talk to yo kids.
Oh.
What are your thoughts?
We need to.
Yep. My daughter's 15.
Mine too.
Yeah, and my stepson is also 15. And although I've never sat down with them, I do know that they are educated in the area. I'm sure public school had something to do with that. But yeah, no, we do need to sit down and just, make sure that the right ideas are in place.
Yeah.
I think
agreed.
particularly around porn. I mean, if we're going to talk about it, I mean,
Yeah.
porn.
It's so
It's
accessible.
ubiquitous,
Yep.
and these
Yeah.
kids are seeing it. And we just need to let them know, like any TV show, it's acting and it's not real.
It's
and
not real.
Fantasy.
Especially having daughters. Oh my
It's
God.
fantasy,
It's
and it's
terrifying.
not healthy. Most of it. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
important.
Thanks a lot, Unicorns Ariel.
Well, you think,
Way to
think
go,
about
Ariola.
Think about like when we were growing up, right?
Ariel? Think about when we were growing up. I was still reading like porno mags that
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
from like
yeah.
friend in high school.
Yeah, I'd find
Old
like my
crusty
dad's
wagon.
stash of, like old penthouse from the 60s.
Yeah, exactly.
Just fucking
Just bush everywhere.
Yeah.
Or like, I'd find my dad's VHSs and like, Like,
You were the porn buster of your block, remember?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. So, like, I get my shit out and whatever. And, like, you'd have to remember exactly where the scene started to rewind the VHS.
Yep.
Like, so your dad doesn't put it on. It's like, oh, this wasn't
This wasn't the spot. Hey,
Yeah,
where are the
this where it was.
titties?
Yeah, this
I
is
lost
my
my nut on
favorite.
scene 2.
Yeah.
This isn't my favorite scene.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Next one. Banking on Mike said, Dads rise up.
Dad's rise up.
Rise
That,
up.
that is our slogan.
Dads
We have
rise
to, it's unfair. This is actually unfair of us. We can't do what we to Shane what we do to Eric all the time.
Yeah.
At the end of the show, right before we sign off, we all say Dads rise up.
Yeah.
Most of the time, his friend Eric comes, Dicks rise up.
Ah.
He's always just like, right, what?
Two more. Ready? Blanca Muffin says, hey guys, I like your show. I've listened to your older episodes and you guys definitely sound more together. Keep up the good podcasting. Thank you, sir. Hopefully you hit that subscribe button. If you didn't, what are you doing?
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
You guys were doing so well, and then I showed up.
No, man. What are you talking about? This was awesome.
This is going to be an epic episode.
Last episode, Lucy Moosey Apricot says, hey guys, I just listened to your travel episode, and although a little long-winded, it was fun. What would you guys name a town? Pound Town?
I'll visit.
I'll take you to it.
I'll move there.
Yeah, right.
Sight unseen.
Yeah.
Ecuador? Pound Town, Ecuador.
Yeah,
Right?
there you go.
There
I
you
like
go.
how she said you were long-winded and then asked you a question that you then had to answer.
Right. Yep, perfect. Yep.
You know, some people are unaware.
Great username though, or email, whatever it was.
Oh, what was it? Lucy Moose Apricot something?
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
I think that's all we got, Brian. Shane, do you guys have anything left to say on the subject?
No, man, this has been
We
awesome.
got it covered, man.
I think so. This was
Yeah.
an awesome episode. Thank you
was-
one more time.
Thank you,
Dude, that was
guys.
beautiful.
I have one more thing to say off topic. I think you do too.
Yep.
We already discussed it.
Yep.
On 3, 1, 2, 3.
Dads rise up!
You didn't say it with
I
us.
missed it. I didn't know that's how that was going down. Yeah, that's my bad.
You want to try it again?
Yep. Right.
Okay, yeah.
On 3, 1, 2, 3. Dads
Dads
rise
rise
up! Thank you. All right, we will see everybody Monday at 5. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.